Should you talk to another person's insurance after a boat crash?
No, you should not. The first thing the insurance company personnel have been trained to do is to collect information that the insurance company can either use to deny your claim or to minimize the amount of damages that you can recover. That's why you should never give a recorded statement to an insurance company if you've been injured without first speaking with an experienced personal injury attorney.
What should you never say to an insurance adjuster after a leg injury?
You should never tell a insurance adjuster that the injury was your fault, or that you don't know whose fault it is, or that you were hurt, but you don't think it's that bad. These are all the types of statements that a insurance company will use to discount or the value of your claim or try to outright deny your claim. More importantly, at the time or right after you're injured on a lake, you may not know exactly the full extent of your injuries and how they are going to impact your life. So it's important not to make those kind of statements to an insurance company, especially right after a lake injury.
What photos should you take immediately after a boat or dock injury?
If you're injured on a boat or near a dock, it's important, if you can and safely, to take photographs and videos of any damage to the boat, any damage to the dock, any physically visible injuries that you may have, as well as registration numbers or other identifying markings on a boat, especially if the boat that caused the injury was driven by a third party or someone you don't know.
Why do insurers call so fast after a summer accident?
Insurance companies, upon learning about a boating accident or an injury at a home pool, will usually call as soon as they can. An adjuster is assigned to the matter and call the injured party to try and obtain a recorded statement and obtain as much information as they can. While they may seem like they're being very nice, they have all been trained to collect information that they can use to protect the financial interest of the insurance company. And they know that usually right after an injury, people are frazzled, they likely don't have attorney representation. And so insurance companies use that opportunity to try and collect information to limit the damages of an individual or to deny their claim entirely.
If you signed a waiver for a jet ski or boat rental, can you still bring a claim?
Signing a waiver before you are injured does not necessarily preclude you from making a claim. If you were injured by a jet ski or a boat, that is very fact specific and also depends on the language of the waiver, which is why you need an experienced personal injury attorney who can look at that waiver and guide you through the process of evaluating its impact on your case. But just the simple fact that you signed a waiver before you were hurt should not preclude you from following up with an attorney to determine the viability of your claim. And as a follow-up to that, you should never sign any kind of waiver after you've been injured without talking to an attorney.
If the rental company fixes the boat or jet ski right away, can that destroy the evidence?
Yes. A rental company will often try and repair a boat that was damaged in a crash as quickly as possible. It may be to destroy the evidence. It may also be simply to get the boat back into the rental pool as quickly as possible so the boating company can continue to make money. However, the loss of that evidence can have extremely detrimental consequences on injured individual's claim. So it's important that an injured individual talks to an attorney early, because an experienced personal injury attorney can take the steps necessary to try and preserve that evidence and document it before the boat is repaired or altered after the accident.
And what's the biggest thing people post online that hurts their summer injury cases?
The biggest thing that people post online that hurts their cases are usually posts or comments about the event itself, especially comments right after that may be something to the effect of, "I was just in a boat crash, but I'm fine," or things of that nature that can be used against an individual to make it appear that they were not injured, especially because, again, people who are injured in boat crashes may not always realize it immediately. It may not till they return home, the adrenaline goes down in their body, and then later that evening or the next day, they really start to feel the extent of their injuries.